Hey, welcome sports fans to an episode of Sports Lockdown. I'm Javier Cabrera, and Daniel Torres is still not with us. This is James Williams filling in for Daniel. James, a little resume of his, he's running this show called Sports Minded. And so he knows his sports.
A little bit.
But James, you've been here at Riverside City College with us for about 3 months already, so you already know pretty much everything about sports athletics. Let's start off with the new renovated Wheelock Gym here at Riverside City College. We got a special tour of it last week, and just your thoughts about it. How is it compared to any other gym that you've been in?
It's amazing. I mean, it's like this junior Staples Center. It's like
a junior Staples Center. Wow.
The junior Staples Center,
Really?
with the front and everything. It's like the celebrities are gonna be there. Anyways, I don't know. It has a stadium seating. There's like classrooms in it, the locker rooms, the court itself. It's just, I can't wait for the next season already. For what, volleyball? That's the next thing, right?
Yeah, and just knowing the gym before, the way it was, like from what I saw, it was pretty amazing. Like I like how they have a brand new court, and they also have like this snack area where at the top, like it looks like a miniature Staples Center.
Staples Center.
Like there's like
VIP,
actual
the little VIP
VIP
section
sections. It's like a little suite, and people could sit down and eat there, and it's pretty interesting. But overall, I think the expansion of the gym, it allows more room, and there's classrooms in there and everything. But overall, I thought it was pretty interesting. And if you guys want to learn, see more about, the tour that we took and the story that we wrote or we did on, you can always check it out at RCC Athletics. Just type it up on YouTube and you can check that out. But let's switch things over. Let's talk about the men's track and field team here at RCC. Just yesterday, I found out that they're ranked #1 in the state, and they're favorites across the board to win state again. And this is it's not a surprise for me. RCC men's track won 3 state championships prior to last season. Last season they just had a really not bad season, but they came up a little bit short. So now they're back on track. They're eventually going to win another state champion. So what can you know? What do you know about that team?
Well, I mean, just talking to the coach a little bit, he seemed very proud of his players, of course. I mean, there's just so many different events they did. I know in the Riverside Open they had over the weekend, I believe they won all events, or I know they at least placed in every event. But I think both the men and the women won the event as far as like getting the most points and just as far as wins are concerned.
Yeah, you mentioned Jim McCarran, the men's coach for RCC, and he's always looking to make this team much better, and just the resume that he has as a coach and the success that he's brought to this program here at RCC. He's always recruiting good players, and it shows. Like they're winning a state championship after another. So that's definitely something that we'll be talking about as the month goes on and the state championship comes closer. And you can always look for more information about them at RCC Athletics on YouTube. And let's talk about the women's tennis. For the past few seasons since I've been here at RCC, they really haven't been successful. But this season seems like it's a different season. They're actually they're Orange Empire Conference champion.
Yeah, they clinched a share for now. As of now, I believe they have a game today. It should be interesting how they do against Orange Coast. If they do beat Orange Coast, who is in second place in the Orange Empire Conference, they will, if they win, they have complete rights to the title. But if they do lose, they will at least still have a share of it. So, I mean, there's no real loss either way. Still win-win for RCC.
So that's pretty much what's going on here at RCC with the athletic programs. It is pretty exciting to see like a lot of these teams, winning and being successful this season. So definitely a lot of interesting news going on here at RCC. But now let's move it towards the professional sports. Let's talk about the Dodgers. Last week there was a lot of excitement going on around LA because Magic Johnson and his group of
yeah.
businessmen, they bought the Dodgers for $2 billion. A lot of people are, just saying that it was, they bought that for a lot more than what they're worth. But at the same time, it's Magic Johnson, and a lot of people are excited about that. So I'm not really sure if you're a baseball fan, but in general, just knowing that Magic Johnson's now an owner of the Dodgers, what's your first reaction to that?
Anything he touches just turns into gold. So, I mean, I'm not going to say that they're going to win it this year as far as the World Series, but give them 5 years, and they'll have at least 2.
Yeah.
I mean, they have Matt Kemp, what is his name, Kershaw?
Yeah,
so,
Peyton Kershaw.
Yeah, they have those 2 locked up for at least, I know, a season or 2. Mm-hmm. So I think they should be able. They should be pretty good. I mean, I'm sure players are going to want to come play under any team that has Magic's hands on it. So
yeah, I mean, I agree with you. Like Magic Johnson, he's pretty much the king of LA. Like a lot of people admire him and respect him for so many reasons. And despite him being a basketball player, my only a problem with it is probably like, does he really know much about baseball? I mean, yeah, he has the money probably to spend, but even though he's the owner now, like how is he going to be able to turn this franchise around? Because it's been a while since 1988 since the Dodgers won their last World Series. Well, so that's just my problem.
Well, I mean, I don't think it's going to be. The only reason why we call it Magic Johnson's team now, or that he's the owner, is because we know Magic Johnson. He's not like the 100% full owner, like we said. He has a group. Mm-hmm. So with him having a group, they're probably going to be doing more of those decisions and whatnot. He's just the face because no one knows Joe Doe or whatever you want to call the other people. But right. Magic Johnson is just the face. I mean, he has a huge say and ownership in the team, but at the same time, he's not doing it alone. So I'm not really worried about it for the most part.
Like how you mentioned earlier, Clayton Kershaw and Matt Kemp are the cornerstones of this franchise, and they have them locked up. I think Kemp is locked up for much longer, but Kershaw is locked up for I think a season or 2.
At least a season or 2.
Yeah. But just having those 2 as a cornerstones and just trying to build off those 2 players, I think Magic Johnson has a good start to making a good career as the Dodgers owner. So definitely I'm excited as a Dodgers fan too. I want to see what's going to happen with the new ownership and what's looked ahead. So hopefully Magic Johnson could impress a lot of people in LA and bring another World Series sometime in the next few 5 years or so. But with the news of Dodgers and everything, spring training is finally coming down to a wire. And the season's about to start, I think, this week or
like
probably
this weekend, I believe.
Yeah, this weekend. So I'm not really sure what to expect from the season. Do you have any suggestions or predictions?
I mean, actually, I almost kind of forgot, but don't forget Pujols is on the Angels, so that alone is something to watch out for. I think this whole Magic Johnson thing, and then Albert Pujols on the Angels. It's going to be an interesting season for Los Angeles area baseball.
Yeah, I mean, you just brought it up. I totally forgot about Albert Pujols being with the Angels. Aside from driving down the freeways and saying
the Albert, his what does it say now?
Yeah, oh boy, and hombre. But just him being in the Angels, like he's definitely going to bring a different spin to how the nation looks at the Angels. The Angels are not really that team. I mean, they're competitive in the American League,
right? But they're always missing that extra piece, and I believe.
And when it comes to the American League, it's always the Yankees and the Red Sox who are always battling it out and going into the World Series. So the Angels definitely helped themselves out with picking up some solid key players in the offseason. But we'll see what happens. They're definitely going into the season really with a different kind of attitude where a lot of people are excited. Not only their fans, but the whole nation. Right. So they're definitely going to be a team where the nation is going to have their eye on all the time. So like how you said, the LA area is definitely going to have like a different taste to it when it comes to baseball. Baseball is not really a sport here in SoCal where it wins a lot. So
exactly. So it's kind of always been just kind of like overlooked. But now you got Magic for one team, you have Pujols for another team. There's going to be a lot of eyes in LA on baseball.
Yeah, so that's definitely what's going to be happening. And for predictions, I don't see the Cardinals repeating as World Series champs since their best player left. As far as the Angels, I'm pretty sure that they're going to win the AL West. As far as that, it's going to be really difficult. I mean, we will still have to see where the Yankees are at. We still have to see where the Red Sox are at. The Red Sox during the offseason, they fired their manager.
Yeah, Francona, I think, and they got Bobby Valentine as their new skipper.
Yeah.
So having him, I mean, I know last season they were like signing all these players and all this stuff. So last year was supposed to be their big season, but it didn't go over very well. They changed managers. It should be interesting to see what they can do with Bobby Valentine as their new skipper.
Yeah, and as far as the NL goes, let's keep it at the AL. The Indians' new pitcher.
Yeah, Ubaldo Jimenez, who was on the Rockies. He got traded to the Indians, and I guess they had a spring training game or just a spring game, and I guess he was a little either mad or upset about being traded for whatever the reason. So he decides to throw a pitch at one of his former teammates, and I think it's one of their better players, in Troy Tulowitzki, I believe is his name.
Yeah.
He ended up having to go to the hospital for his elbow, either his left elbow or right elbow, one of his elbows. And so he had to go to the hospital. X-rays were negative, but the MLB did suspend Jimenez for 5 games. I heard today that he is trying to appeal it. He's was scheduled to start on Saturday against the Blue Jays when the season does get underway. But as of right now, we'll just have to wait and see how it goes as far as his suspension being appealed or wherever that goes.
Well, that was pretty interesting that he would do something like that.
Yeah.
It's spring training. Like, there's no reason for him to cross the line and do something like that. So, hopefully he doesn't have a grudge against his old team.
Well, apparently he does, but at the same time, don't be surprised if they do. I'm sure they will meet up again during the regular season, and there is some sort of retaliation because they may not say it, they may not want to say it, but there probably will be retaliation unless the MLB comes out and says, no, we're not doing this whole retaliation thing and none of this anymore. But we'll see it. We'll probably forget, but when it comes up again, we'll all know why. So.
All right. Well, we definitely have a whole summer to talk about Major League Baseball, so let's switch things up. Let's talk about the NBA. We have a month left in the short 66 season. Mm-hmm. How I said, the playoffs are coming towards the end of the month of April. Mm-hmm. As far as the Lakers go, they're still trying to figure out things out. During the trade deadline a couple of weeks ago, they traded for Ramon Sessions, and now they have that point guard that they needed. They still have their 2 big men, Andrew Bynum and Pau Gasol. But in the
and Kobe, don't forget Kobe. They still got Kobe too.
Yeah, they got Kobe too.
They got Kobe Bryant.
But as far as Bynum goes, this last game, he suffered a sprained ankle on his left foot. So now he is out for at least 1 game. Just before we started shooting this, I found out that he's been fined by the Lakers because of his, unsportsmanlike behavior in the past few games. Like when he got benched for shooting a 3-pointer, he really didn't respect the decision from Coach Mike Brown.
He didn't go with the play or whatever.
And then he also skipped a meeting with General Manager Mitch Kupchak. So just all these little ridiculous incidents that he's doing is just causing him to get in trouble with the franchise, and the franchise is definitely not stepping in and not letting him do these kind of things. So he's got fined. But as far as he said, he's not playing against the Nets, who their next opponent is today. And he might play against the Clippers, but as far as Andrew Bynum goes, he did suffer an ankle sprain, and he's still looking to see. I mean, he's getting in trouble with the team.
I've been meaning to ask you about that, by the way. I heard after, I believe, not the game where he got hurt, I think the one where Kobe was like 0 for 22 or something like that. That's another topic. Anyways, Bynum was saying something about, for whatever the reason, he's not being a part of huddles or something like that as far as when during the game. And then he even admitted it after the game. He's like, I didn't hear the play or I didn't hear what was going on because I don't want to be a part of the huddles because I'm resting. What is that? As a fan of the Lakers, what is that? Like, what does that do? Because that's I don't even know. First of all, I don't even know why Kobe Bryant is letting that happen. So what is your take on that?
I don't know. Andrew Bynum obviously is being a child. He doesn't.
A big baby.
I guess he just feels like since he got his extension with the Lakers that he could just act the way he wants to, and that's not, how the Lakers want their players to act. He's been doing this constantly this whole season. He's been going to the press and taking shots at players and coaches. So his actions are definitely out of line. I hope that he does figure out that he is doing the wrong thing after this fine with the Lakers, and hopefully the Lakers can get through to him and say, hey, like this is not the way you're supposed to act as a player representing the Lakers. So, that's my take on that.
So, do you see him as like a long-term answer for the Lakers? Because I know even during the offseason, before this season even started, he was parking in handicap spots and just doing like crazy stuff, training with Freddie Roach, who's a boxing trainer, crazy stuff. Like what is that? Where do you think his mind is at? And do you think he's like a long-term answer for the Lakers?
Well, obviously, he knows that for a fact that he's one of the few big men who could do a lot of things. He's athletic and he's strong. So he's definitely considered to be a long-term, but a lot of people are just curious to know how long he could stay healthy because, since he ever came into the league in 2003, he's been, up and down with the injuries. So, I don't think it was 2003, 2004, 2006. I don't even know when Andrew Bynum came into the league, guys.
It's been a while. Probably 7 seasons already, hasn't it?
I don't know. Anyways, that's not the point.
That's not the point.
So he's definitely considered a long term. The Lakers definitely have him like a couple more options up to like the 2014 season. So he's possibly the face of the Lakers after Kobe Bryant leaves, if not another all-star who comes in. But he's definitely a piece of the future.
You don't think, is he worth the headache is what I want to know, honestly. Is he worth it?
He's worth it, but I don't think the Lakers are going to accept him to do all that stuff. He does act like an idiot sometimes, but when it comes down to it, he does get the job done. And
really, that's all that does matter, so you can't blame him for that, I guess.
But let's talk about other things about the NBA. The season's almost about to end, and the
insanity is officially over.
That's been over since it started. But let's talk about the Oklahoma Thunder. That team is just ridiculous. Like, that team is on fire. I don't think anyone's gonna stop them. The Lakers are the only challenge for them in the West. Maybe throw in San Antonio, but as far as the Thunder, man, that team is on fire. And Kevin Durant with Russell Westbrook, those two are just a killer duel.
And they're still young. That's the thing. They're still young.
Yeah.
They still have all this energy. They'll run up and down the court. I know they got Fisher since the Lakers got rid of him for whatever reason. Have you been watching them, and how do you think Fisher fits in?
Well, Fisher doesn't have a big role with that team. He's just
is he just
what Fisher's Fisher's role on any team is the guy that could step in those big moments and knock down a shot for you. That's what basically he is.
Well, I saw his role, like when I found out he was going to the Thunder, I just automatically thought he probably won't do a lot for them because Russell Westbrook plays point guard as well. I just saw him more as a leader and a presence as an older veteran on the team.
Yeah.
Just considering, like we said, Durant and Westbrook, even James Harden, Serge Ibaka, they're all young. I think their oldest guy they had starting was Kendrick Perkins, and he only had been in one playoff game. no, one. He has one championship ring, and he was the only one on the team with the ring. So having a more leadership and a presence coming off the bench, as far as just maturity and just to set some guidelines within the team. Do you think that could be another reason why they have him?
Yeah, I mean, you hit the nail on the head. That's pretty much his role on that team. He has a chance to win another ring. That's of course.
Oh yeah, that never hurts as well. Yeah.
But the Thunder are definitely a big big favorites to come out of the West and possibly win the championship. But I'm just the way that the Thunder organization like handled themselves, like since they moved from Seattle. Ever since they moved from Seattle, they drafted Kevin Durant, and they took years to get to this point. And this is the way a lot of people think that NBA teams should handle themselves when it comes to trying to build for a championship. Right. Not like the Heat, where they get all these All-Stars in one season and then try to go for it at one.
And still fail.
Yeah, and still fail, like LeBrick. But that's how it goes. Like, the Thunder, like, they're
the blueprint as far as how to build a team and just really, you said it, like, just to build a team and really the right way it should be done.
Yeah, I mean, wow. The NBA season is almost about to be over, and it feels like we're always talking about the same thing, because there's like nothing different, but that's the way it goes.
Wow.
So let's switch topics now. Let's talk about what's next.
We can talk about the NFL. No, actually, before we talk about the NFL, they had the national championship game in college yesterday. Kentucky they defeated Kansas. I don't know the score off the top of my head. I think it was like 59-50. As far as I know, I didn't get a chance to see it, but it wasn't very close. As the score would probably show, it wasn't really that close. Anthony Davis is just really a beast. I don't even know what to say. He won the Naismith Award, which for those of you who don't know and that you watch football, it's the Heisman. It's like the Heisman Trophy of college basketball. But he was the first player in his school's program to do that. I know their coach, John Calipari, he's been pretty good, but it was his first title win. Overall, the program has won 8. They have now won 8 national championships. Their last one was in '98, so it's been a while for them. But for them to actually win and just to see another new team win instead of the same teams over and over, despite them being one of the #1 seeds, is something. It's different, and that's what we expect out of college sports, really.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big college fan, and the only thing I got out of this March Madness is that I picked the 2 finalists and the winner. So
yeah, you barely found out today.
So yeah, I look at my bracket, and I was like, hey, I picked Kansas and Kentucky wins. So that's all I got to say about. So you're a winner.
They win, you win, right?
Yeah, so that's all I got to say about March Madness.
So yeah, well, before that, all I want to say is just look out for Anthony Davis. He hasn't really said he was going pro, but at the same time, while he's only a freshman, I'm sure he will go pro. Whether it'll be the first overall pick, I don't know, but he should be within the top 5 or 10, unless the Lakers maybe make a trade and get him, and then they get rid of Bynum.
I don't know.
But okay, now on to the NFL. Now we can talk about the NFL. The Saints, they're going through their whole bounty thing. They're going through, their coach got suspended for the full season. Their GM was suspended for 9 games. Their former defensive coordinator is out indefinitely for who knows how long, which is like the biggest black mark you can have against you. But at the same time, I've also heard that Peyton, their head coach, who has been suspended for the full season, was trying to get Bill Parcells. He used to coach for the Cowboys, and he was the GM for the Dolphins, I believe. Anyways, they were thinking about bringing him in. That really hasn't gone anywhere other than he said he would be stupid not to think about it. So we're just kind of waiting to see where that goes. I've heard Sean Payton has tried, he's going to appeal it. I believe either today or tomorrow he's going to talk to Roger Goodell. So we just kind of have to wait and see where that goes. The NFL rules, they've made some changes already. Either the owners or the GMs or someone, they all kind of decided on some rule changes. They had that complicated new overtime rule system for the playoffs only last season. They have now put that in effect as far as for the regular season as well. Another rule change they have is that any turnover that they have during a regular season game, any kind of game whatsoever will be reviewed, which will slow the game down a little bit, but it's probably for the better anyways, because we don't want to miss anything.
Well, there is your public announcement of the NFL.
Yep.
Let's talk about Peyton Manning. He finally went to a team, and it was the Broncos. I mean, of all teams. I mean, the Broncos was the least favorite team where a lot of people thought he wasn't going to, but he went. So
there he went.
What's your initial reaction? Now he's in the AFC West. We might have a chance to see him in San Diego. We might have a chance to see him in Oakland.
I don't want to see him in San Diego. Go Chargers. No, but
we could go to.
Are you gonna take me?
Hell yeah.
You're gonna pay for my ticket.
Yep. Not Jarrett.
You heard him. Anyways, Peyton Manning. I mean, he's still injured. Well, he's not still injured, but there's still a big question mark. He's going to be working with John Elway now. It should be great to see them build a partner. Well, they have a relationship already, but to see it in action and see what they're able to do on the field with the coach, John Fox, I believe. It should just be interesting to see where their season goes and see how much they improve. They have a good young defense, Dumerville, Von Miller, both of them at linebacker. The defense now with the great offense, it should be interesting to see where it goes. At the same time, they didn't have to, but they did trade Tim Tebow. He's on your Jets now. What do you think about that?
Whatever.
You're not reading much into it? You still think Mark Sanchez is the guy?
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter to you, huh? Well, it matters to me because my Chargers are now in trouble with Peyton Manning running around in the high altitude of Denver. So.
Yeah. All right. Well, before we wrap things up, just for your, just something that you could keep to yourself. He's new to the Inland Empire. So John Elway is the owner of Crown Toyota and the Ontario Auto Center. So
what is that?
It's a car dealership in Ontario.
Well, you got to drive me by there.
We always drive it by there. Anyways, that's enough for Sports Lockdown today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully Daniel's back in the next few episodes. But until next time, guys, you can hit us up on Twitter at Sports Lockdown and Sportsminded as well at Sportsminded. Yeah, so there you go. You can always talk to James. Until next time, we'll see you.